In this lesson, we will look at evaluating algebraic expressions. To evaluate an algebraic expression, substitute a number in parentheses for each variable and simplify by using the order of operations. One way to remember the order of operations is by using the mnemonic PEM DAS, where the P is parentheses, the E is exponents, the M and the D we have multiply, and divide, and A and S addition and subtraction. So in this case, if we have multiplication or division in the same expression and they're in order, we move from left to right, and the same thing with addition, moves left to right. It does not go multiplication first and then division because the letters are in that order. It goes by what is on the left and what is on the right. So let's look at our first example. So in this case, we will take 2x minus xy plus 4y and replace x with 5 and y with 2. So I'm going to start out with, I have 2, and then I have an x value, so I put parentheses minus x times y plus 4 times y. And I'm going to put in parentheses because when we start using negative numbers, it will make a difference when we evaluate. So 2 times x, well, x was 5 right here, minus xy, so 5, and then y was 2, plus 4 times y, and y was 2. So, PEMDAS. Do we have anything in parentheses where we're adding and subtracting? No. Do we have any exponents? No. Do we have multiplication and division? Well, we have multiplication, so we'd multiply first. So 2 times 5 is 10, minus 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 times 2 is 8. And then we'd look at addition and subtraction. So 10 minus 10 is 0, plus 8 is 8. So the answer to our algebraic expression, given x equals 5 and y equals 2, is 8. Let's go ahead and look at our next one. So in this case, we have q squared plus 4qr minus r squared, and we want to use r equal 3 and q equals 7. So let's plug in q squared plus 4 times q times r minus r squared. In this case, q is 7, and q is 7, and r is 3, and then r squared is 3 squared. So again, we look at PEMDAS. There's not really anything in parentheses to add or subtract. So the E is for exponents, so let's do our exponents first. So 7 squared is 49, plus 4 times 7 times 3, minus 3 squared, which is 9. And then we do multiplication and division. Well, we have multiplication, so we have 49 plus 4 times 7 times 3, so 7 times 3 is 21 times 4 is 84 minus 9. And then addition and subtraction. So 49 plus 84, that's 13, and 9 and 4 is 13, minus 9. And 133 minus 9 is 124. what if we had r equal to a negative 3 and q equal to a negative 7? What would change? In this case, I have q squared, which is negative 7 squared, plus 4 times q, which was negative 7, and r, which is negative 3, minus r, which is negative 3 squared. So negative 7 squared, so that's negative 7 times negative 7 is 49, plus a negative times a negative is a positive, so 4 times 7 times 3 is still positive 84, minus negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. So we still have 49 plus 84 minus 9, and we still get 124. What if we didn't use parentheses? So what if we plugged in negative 7 squared plus 4 times negative 7 times negative 3 minus negative 3 squared? So we kind of have a little bit of a conundrum here. We have 4 minus 7 minus 3, but that subtraction and the problem over here calls for multiplication. So we've already got a problem where we might subtract instead of multiply. So I guess if you put a times in here and that gave you an indication and you actually multiplied, that would be one thing, but I'd definitely watch out for that. The other piece that I'd watch out for is negative 7 squared. The exponent is on the 7 because only the 7 is raised to the negative 2, or raised to the second, and then the negative in front means the opposite. So it's the opposite of 7 squared, which is 49, and then hopefully we multiply these correctly in the middle, and hopefully not add or subtract instead. And then we have minus and negative becomes a positive, and 3 squared is 9. So now our sign here is wrong, and our sign over here is wrong. So we would get the incorrect answer. So keep in mind that the parentheses do make a difference, and when you plug it in the calculator without parentheses, you will get a different answer. So in this case, negative 49 and 9 is negative 40 plus 84 is 44. Definitely not the same as 124. So let's look at letter C. We plug in an x squared times a y minus an x times a y squared plus 3 times a y. So again, everywhere I see a letter, I'm going to put parentheses. And instead of x, I'm going to put a 2. So this was 2 squared, and then y, which is 5, minus xy, which is xy, and then plus 3 times y, which is 5. So in that case, I have PEMDAS, so exponents first. So we have 2 squared, which is 4 times 5, minus 2 times 5 squared, which is 25, plus 3 times 5. So I did all my exponents. Now I can go multiplication, division. So multiplication, 4 times 5 is 20, minus 2 times 25 is 50, plus 3 times 5 is 15. And then I can do addition and subtraction. So 20 minus 50 is negative 30, plus 15. And we have a negative and a positive together, so 30 minus 15 is 15, and the sign of 30 is negative. So in this case, we would have a negative 15. Again, if the x were a negative 2 and you don't use parentheses, you will get a wrong answer if you were trying to do the correct math.